Hello, and welcome back. I hope everything is going well in your world. Let's have a look at what we have going on in 10:30. Here we are. 10:30 this week. We're continuing with the personal portfolio. And I think we talked about this last week, where in your Google Docs have a folder that is personal portfolio, and you can drop your assignments into there. So it's organized for you as to where you save it. Ultimately, the personal portfolio collectively will be worth 20% of your overall mark. This week, you're doing SMART goals and a Myers-Briggs personality inventory with an action plan. So when we have a look at Mondays overall, we have our SMART goals assignment. Last week, there was a video that you watched about SMART goals and setting them. If you might want to refer back to that to refresh your memory, or maybe it's stuck in there, so you're all good. These SMART goals the long-term and the short-term goals need to have those SMART criteria, and they need to be personally relevant for you. So something that you think you would like to do, or EMAT. You have that part. I've got a rubric that I put together for you, and this is how I will mark your SMART goals after you submit them. So I will look at your long-term goals. Are they about a year or more? Not 20 years, but a year or more to complete. Have SMART criteria. Are they clearly articulated? Are they personally relevant to you, not to me, obviously. So then I will just circle whichever ones they are at. If they meet all of these criteria, you get 2s. If maybe goal 2 is missing one of the SMART criteria, then I would circle there. There's not enough, like you're significantly short of the SMART criteria, that would be insufficient. But I feel confident you guys will be just fine, guys and women, whomever. So for the short-term goals, same kind of thing. And each of the long-term goals has 3 short-term goals, and I will assess them as a cluster. And the writing conventions is ×2. So if there's no spelling errors, you have correct punctuation, grammatically correct, complete sentences, that kind of thing, it would be worth 4 out of your total there. I think 20 is what it amounts to. And let's see what else. We've got the Myers-Briggs. Some people may have already done this before. It's kind of an interesting process. When you follow the link, it will take you to a website where you can ask the different questions and it will ask you questions and you answer those. There's 50 or 60 of them. And these questions are more for you to think about. So when I did it, let's see, can we share when I did it? Oh, here's where, see, when I did it, I ended up with INFJ. If you click on the full description or click to view, you get more information. I have found if you do these tests at different times in your life, you get different reactions or different results, which I suppose makes sense. They're not usually dramatically different, but life circumstances might bring out a stronger part of each of those personalities. You can also have a look at the PowerPoint. It gives you some more background on how to look at the different pieces, introvert versus extrovert. I'll wait for this to open up. So the exercise itself is the doing of the website, answering the questions on the website. It's free. You don't have to sign in for anything. Ultimately, there's 16 personality types. There's going to be some of each of those features in everybody. Everybody is completely unique in how they balance those out. This is the 16 in total, and then what they end up calling each of those. some background information for you. You've probably heard introvert versus extrovert. And I like the way, it seems to me the easiest way to understand that is how we gain our energy. Introverts build their personal energy by having alone time, away time. Extroverts build energy by being around other people. Ah, yeah, I guess it already says that, sorry. Some people have the idea that extroverts are always loud. No, that's not true. And that one works pretty good for helping to explain some of that. So as you go through the PowerPoint, it helps break each of those features down. Yeah. For your action plan, after you've done the assessment, you'll know your personality type, and you're going to need to consider people that you think you would get along well with, what personality types and why, and which people you might struggle with, which personality types. For the ones that you might struggle with, this is where the action plan comes in. What are maybe some strategies or solutions? I will put together a marking rubric, but essentially that's going to be the targets for this particular assignment. So this site here, I think you'll find helpful. It helps give some background of the different types. It'll help you with your research as you're coming up with your action plan. It explains the test and the dichotomy between each of those ends, and gives you some more descriptors of the different kinds of the 16 types. There's an example of a well done one here. Student has agreed to share. So ones that they would work well with and why. And there's another example of a well done one here with the personalities that they would work well with and why. You need to be clear about which personality type you are so that it's easier to see which ones would work well with for you and which ones would be more of a struggle. And this is where we turn them in on Friday. So I think that's about it. I will be here in case anybody wants to hop on, and I will double check to make sure that link is working because I'm not so sure it was working on Friday. But if you feel like you're comfortable knowing what you need to do this week, great. I have next week almost tweaked to perfection, but not quite. So that's why it's not showing yet. You can expect to see that in the next couple of days. Aside from that, take care. Bye.